So I really want to challenge myself today. I want to try out micro crochet. So what is micro crochet? It's basically where you use thread and a very tiny crochet hook and you crochet with it. Because I most often make plushies, I definitely want to try and make a very tiny plushie. I'm very interested to see what it's like to crochet with a super thin yarn, especially when it comes to eyesight, because I do have a bad eye that just it can't see as well as the other one. So I'm hoping that won't be too much of a challenge for me. I'm very excited to challenge myself, maybe get out of my comfort zone. A part of the reason why I've never tried micro crochet before is because I do sell a lot of my plushies. And a lot of times when things are smaller, customers think that they should be cheaper, which makes sense. That's kind of how it goes normally. But with micro crochet, I would think that it would take even longer and takes a little more precision and also would be more difficult. So really that price should probably be higher. So I've just never been interested in it because I wasn't sure if there would be really a market for that. Also, I thought that it would be difficult and just wasn't sure if it was for me. But I want to give it a try and just see if I like it. I have a lot of embroidery thread, so I can probably use that, but we need to see what size crochet hooks I have and see if I have anything small enough to do some micro crochet. If I don't, then you and I are going to the store. Oh my gosh, can I not be clumsy for just a second? So the smallest crochet hook that I have in my collection is a 2.25. Honestly, I was kind of hoping that I had an even smaller crochet hook. I was hoping for maybe like a 1.5 to maybe 1 millimeter. Maybe if we're getting really crazy, down to like 0.5 millimeter, because I saw someone was using like a 0.5 millimeter, which is so tiny. Let's go make a quick trip. If we are not able to find a smaller hook at Michael's, then our worst case scenario is we will just try out the 2.25. I've never used this hook before because it is so tiny, and I usually crochet with bigger yarn, and it would be very difficult to crochet with bigger yarn with a very tiny hook. It wouldn't hook it well. So let's just go run over to Michael's and see what we can find.
We're here. Let's go look. I just saw this. This might be perfect. I'm gonna look more though. These ones are bigger. We got it. So let's go ahead and head home. I grabbed a couple extra things, so I will show you those when we get back home.
Back from the store, and let me show you what I grabbed. So I grabbed these tiny hooks. I really wish I could have bought one, but unfortunately it came in a pack. And then I grabbed these magnifying glasses, and these are supposed to like clip onto your glasses. So I'm going to try this out. I feel like that'll be helpful. And then I bought these little things. I don't even know what to call these. I guess they're called brads, but they like attach to things, but I'm planning on using these as safety eyes. I'm not planning on selling this little guy, so I don't think it matters if I'm keeping it because I know I'm not going to be pulling out the eyeballs, you know? So I grabbed all my embroidery thread and we are going to go ahead and pick out the colors. Oh, and I haven't told you what I'm making. What am I talking about? First, I have to tell you that I am planning on making one of my tiny dragons. I just feel like it's a perfect pattern for this. Like imagine having just a little, like the literal tiniest dragon ever. That is the plan. We are making a dragon, but now let's go ahead and start looking at some colors. As you can see, my embroidery thread is a little bit messy. I'm sorry about that. I don't use it all that often, every once in a while. Ooh, this is a really pretty color, but I kind of wanted like a lighter pink. Let's see what we have. This is nice, but this is definitely not enough. And this is a little bit orangey. I guess I'll just start out by picking out colors that I like and I have enough of, maybe. Ooh, that's kind of a lovely shade. Do like a blue though. Ooh. All right, so I selected my colors. Here they are. I'm thinking this really pretty blue color for the body, and then this light purple as our little accent color, and then we are going to be using white as well. Go ahead and pull out our smallest hook. I just gotta show you this. A part of me is worried that it's not even going to hook the yarn very well. The hook isn't super pointy, but I'm going to trust it. This is so small, I literally feel like I could just like bend it in half. I'm not going to. We're not going to do that. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out and see how this works. Hopefully this makes it a little bit easier for me to see. Oh, I dropped my glasses. Like this? Ooh, that's not too bad. It's plus 2.5. I'll give you a look through my glasses. I'm trying to show you the magnification, but I feel like you can't see it all that well on camera. But it does magnify. Maybe not like a lot, but it does. So now that we have our crochet hook, I can officially begin making our very tiny dragon. This embroidery thread comes with, I believe, 6 strands. I'm just gonna double check that, yeah. I'm thinking 3 might work well with this hook. I'm just gonna separate. Look how thin this is. That is crazy. That is crazy. All right, let's go ahead and begin. I made a little slip knot. Let's see. Oh gosh, I messed up the first time, but that is okay. I have a slip knot. It's on my hook. Let's go ahead and try this. I need to do some chains, so. We did a single crochet. I repeat, we did 1 single crochet. This is so hard. Okay, I do have to say I am so glad that I chose to do this with a pattern that I'm familiar with, because this would be so hard. And the craziest part is this isn't even the smallest that I've seen people go. Like, this is small. Don't get me wrong. This is very small. But I've seen people go like with thinner and smaller hooks than this. Don't know how they do it. I'm having a hard time like holding onto the piece. I'm so glad I got the magnification glasses. At first I thought I was being like, I don't know, extra. I can be a little extra sometimes, I'll be honest. But I'm glad I did it. I'm gonna keep going. I'll give you an update as I get further. I have just finished the nose of my dragon. This is gonna take me forever. This is literally going to take me forever. I don't know how some people do so much micro crocheting. This is insane. Just a few thoughts after about 10 minutes of me figuring this out. How far I've gotten is about maybe like 2-3 minutes at most of crochet that it would normally take me. So it is taking me a lot longer. A part of the reason is not only because it's small and it's kind of difficult to see where to put my hook into, but it's also the yarn keeps splitting because it is 3 strands that are all together. So that's a little difficult, but I'm hoping to continue to improve. So I just finished the head. I'm about to change colors. A little anxious about it. We need to change to white for the dragon's horns. I just pulled up a loop because I am ready to attach our next color. This is what we are looking like. Look how tiny this is. This is most of the head. We're about to add on the horns right now, and then we will be doing the back of the head. But yeah, the head is almost done now. I'm gonna go ahead and split my white yarn. Let's go ahead and attach this new color. I'm a little anxious about this. I'm sweating so much and I run cold, so that is saying something. All right, now I gotta tie this strand to this strand. Am I not dexterous? My fine motor skills are just being challenged right now so much. All right, I'm gonna do a bobble stitch. So let's do this. Come on, grab it. There we go. I feel like a bobble stitch might be a little fun to do. Oh, I dropped it, split. Okay, maybe it won't be that fun. I'm trying to be so delicate. Ah! Ah! I dropped it! I dropped it! No! Come on. Hook, just go back in there. Come on. You did it. Okay. Hook it and pull it through. That's the side of the head. You see that little white bobble stitch? That's the horn! Okay. calm down. So as we continue crocheting up this dragon, I just wanted to mention a challenge that I was having that really only pertains to me, but I think would explain some of the difficulties that I was having. Remember how earlier I just casually mentioned that I have a bad eye? Well, that turned out to bother me just a little bit more than I was expecting. In one of my eyes, I have a condition called posterior sneaky eye, and that means that my iris is stuck to my lens, so my eye cannot dilate at all. As you can imagine, it is pretty important that your eyes are able to dilate. Unfortunately, in that eye, it's a little bit dimmer, colors are duller. It basically looks like I'm looking through a fog. I also have floaties and also glaucoma now too. So when working on something this small, it really requires you to be able to see such fine details, but my bad eye cannot see it at all. Luckily, I do have a good eye too, but I do have to say that because I was focusing so hard with my good eye, it just started to cause some eye strain. So if you are someone who has an eye condition like me, I'm not saying you can't do this, but I'm just saying it would be more challenging, especially because you can't feel for the stitches. They're just too teeny. But here's a couple of tips that I think you can do that can help you whether or not you have any vision issues. The first one, make sure you have some bright lighting. After that, I would definitely make sure to have some magnifying glasses, some that are even more magnified than the ones I got. And lastly, make sure you have some patience because you're gonna need that. But anyways, let's just get back into it. That bubble stitch was a little bit easier. I'm getting better, y'all. I'm getting better. I'm good at this. You gotta have those positive affirmations even when you're not feeling your best. You gotta speak it into existence, okay? I can micro crochet, please. That bubble stitch does not want to go out the right way. I'm gonna use a different hook with a bigger, this one, to poke it out. There we go. Fingers are too small for the bobble stitches, so you really can't. Oh, you didn't see that. You did not see that. Look how small it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the eyes will be like on either side. I think it's in the right spot now. Look at that. He has an eyeball. Oh yeah, and these things, you can like split it and then open it up. That's how I was planning on like securing them. I'm keeping this little thing. There we go. Wow. Okay, so I need to stuff the body. Here we are. Obviously, it is looking so good, but this is stressing me out. This just takes such crazy precision. I am someone who has a lot of patience. Dare I say, maybe too much patience. This is actually testing my patience, which I can't even talk if I wanted to. Like, this takes such focus. If you are a micro crocheter, like, how do you do it? How is this what you do? I'm sure it gets easier, but oh, see, that's what's infuriating. Okay, it's okay. We did it. That's the last stitch. Look how small it is. I could actually cry. I wish this was the entire dragon, but it's just the body. He still needs wings. Look how small. That is insane. That is crazy. I can't be stopped. I can't be stopped. It's so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Before I did this, I wasn't sure if I could do it. I'm gonna sew it closed real quick. Ooh. Snip that. I cannot believe how small it is. Like, I knew it was gonna be small, y'all, but I didn't realize it was gonna be, that's really small. I just have to say, this is over an hour of work. And just for reference, to make only the body, that can sometimes only take me like 15 minutes. This like quadruples my time. We still need to make 2 wings, a line down his back, and some tail spikes. Part of me is beginning to not want to color change and to try to make it a little more simple. But also another part of me, like, no, we gotta do it the way that I usually do it, you know? Because I feel like, I don't know, that'll feel more complete to me. So I think we might just continue on and do it the regular way I do it, even though it's going to be harder. I might regret this choice, but right now, I think I'm just gonna make the line that goes down the dragon's back. Let's do it. Okay, There we go. I did one. Now I just gotta go down the back. I usually like doing this, so hopefully this can still be enjoyable for me. I had to redo these wings like 4 times, and it makes me so annoyed, but let's go ahead and jump into assembly real quick, and he's gonna be all done. We're gonna be done. We're gonna be done in like no time at all. Actually, it took forever, actually. For real, this actually took forever. It's crazy because it's so small. You would think that this would cost like, I don't know, 25 cents, 50 cents. This is like 3 hours of work. That's crazy for such a little guy. I'll show you him all close up once he's done. But let's go ahead and jump into assembly time. So here's the 2 finished wings. We just need to sew it right on. All I had was this big darning needle, so it was a little bit difficult, but also I made it work. It was fine. But after these are on, it is officially time for the final reveal. He is officially all complete. Turned out so much smaller than I was originally thinking. He is just so tiny. He also just took me so long to make. And just for reference, my original dragon pattern takes around 45 minutes for me to make from start to finish. So 3 hours is just crazy. Each individual stitch took me so much longer, and so many times I had to go back and redo the stitch. When I'm crocheting, this is usually when I'm most at peace. Like I'm feeling like calm, cool, collected. Not with this guy. Nope. It was the opposite. So in my PDF pattern, I make my dragons out of Parfait Chunky. I actually don't have any dragons made out of Parfait Chunky right now, but I do have a dragon made out of some other yarn. So let me grab it right now so that you can see the size comparison, because it is drastic. It is the exact same pattern, okay? This guy was made with a weight 4 yarn and a 4mm hook. This is how much bigger it is. But even my Parfait plush ones are bigger than this guy. Like I thought this guy was small, but look at this. You guys have to let me know down in the comments if you guys would ever try out micro crochet. I know I'm not giving it like a raving review, but it is really cool. And I do think that everyone should at least give it a try and see if you like it, because it is really neat. If I had the patience inside of me to continue with micro crochet, I would love to make each one of my patterns like this, but there's no way. Also, I just want to mention, I did not do like too much research before doing this. I kind of just jumped right in with what crochet knowledge I have. So if there's something that I could have done that would have made it easier for me, please let me know, because I would absolutely be willing to try again. But at the moment, I'm just going to enjoy this incredibly tiny guy. I know it was a pain to make him, but it truly is so satisfying. I really hope you enjoy watching me struggle to make this very tiny plushie. And until next time, I love you guys, happy crocheting, and bye.